welcome everyone, and welcome to the second episode of The Turnover. This week we're going to be covering Week 0 games. We're going to get into talk a little bit about game coverage, and we're going to, check to see what won as far as our topic for the day. So first off, we'll hop right into it. Week 0, it's that time. Delco football. We got 3-4 days, and it's go time. Hard work all season, all season. It's everybody's ready to go. We're excited. We know the people at home. You guys excited. The coaches, the fans, the players. We're ready. We're ready, and we're excited to see what you guys put on the field this year. So we're gonna, first off, have to introduce the guys here with me. We have Delco football prediction panel guys: Dan, Kev, Kevin, also from Bill and Kev's High Five. We have Bill, the other half of our Delco High Five. And we're going to go into, just Week 0, the predictions, who they think going to win, and why. All right, so we'll start off with our first game. Our first game is Kensington High School is at Harriton. Kensington coming down from, Philadelphia Public League, and they're playing Harriton. Bill, we'll start off with you. What's your thoughts on the game?
So first off, I got to throw an apology out there. Evan Herzig, you're my dude, man. I got you all year.
Don't forget him.
Yeah, don't forget him. You won't if you play him. I believe me.
I said forgive him.
I am going with Kensington in this one. Just some athletes out there, and don't know much about these two teams, but just doing some homework. I just got to roll with Kensington in this one.
Okay, Kev, your thoughts?
No rhyme or reason here. Just going to go with the hometown Harriton. Two teams that struggled last year. Hopefully, one of these teams is going to get, the first win in almost 2 years. So, I'm going to go with Harriton. See what happens.
Go Rams. How about you, Coach?
Well, I went with Kensington. Kensington, I know they had a good year. What was it, 2 years ago? I think they were solid.
Okay.
And then they had a down year last year, so hopefully they pick it back up. The Philly schools, you never know with the attendance and the movement of kids. I just, on a whim, someone's telling me Kensington.
Got you. And I'm going to stay out of it. So those are our predictions for those guys. But I think I'll go with Kensington as well. As I said, the athletes, Harriton has had some struggles. It's their second year playing back in the Central League. But, Kensington, they have their up and downs and, possibly, athletes, you never know what's going to happen when the athletes on the field. So our next game, Archbishop Carroll at William Tennent. And I have to make a correction. Last week I spoke about Carroll's quarterback returning the kid Boyd. I found out this week that he is not at Carroll anymore. He's at Northeast High.
Wow.
So that changes a little, might change something there. But we'll start off with you, Dan. What's your thoughts on that game?
Starting right off with that, I'm going with William Tennent. I don't know who's running the ship at Carroll. There's too many unknowns for me to have any faith in him right now.
Okay. Kev?
Same, not much we know about Carroll. I'm going to go with William Tennent myself. I know Carroll's trying to build their program back up. They were a big powerhouse back in the early 2000s, but they, trying to build it back up. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going with William Tennent.
Okay, Bill?
I am sticking with the Delco PCL, Archbishop Carroll, the boys out of Radnor. I got to stick with them. I just think that they have a tough schedule, and this is a game that they need to put on the calendar to win, and I think that's why it's on there. I got Carroll.
Okay. So our next game, we have a team that's their first year playing varsity football. Under great leadership, former Delco guy, Royale Edwards, Strath Haven grad, started the football program at Audenreid Charter, and they're taking on the Lions from Cardinal O'Hara. I'll start off with you, Kev. What you think?
I'm going to go with the Lions. I think they're going to be much improved this year. They're going to be a hard team to take down. And what you just said, this team's first varsity football game, this is a tough one for them. I got the Lions.
Okay. Okay.
My heart wants to go with Audenreid. I mean, Royale Edwards, that's a brother to me. Ryan Benson's out there helping him, another brother to me, but I can't go against O'Hara in this matchup. It doesn't even make sense.
Bill?
Going with Weldy and the O'Hara Lions. Sticking with that Delco PCL. I think that they're going to have a good year this year. Again, tough league to play in, but another game on there that it's a must win for them.
Right, and I agree with you guys. It's a tough first game for Audenreid. Harris. As we talked about in our last show, they're on the rise. And they're going to be a tough out for anybody they swoop against. So definitely ride with O'Hara in this one. Okay, next, Westchester East. They're going to Sharon Hill to visit the Knights from Academy Park. What are our thoughts here? And I'll kick that one off. Traditionally, Academy Park, over there, Coach Vo, they've not been the Academy Park that we saw, 5-10 years ago. But they're still competitive, and when they play those teams out there, whether it be Unionville, they give them fits. And I mean, I'm gonna take the Knights in this. Westchester East, not a traditional powerhouse. Recently, of course, Rustin outshine them. Henderson, have had a couple down years, but I like the Knights. How about you, Bill?
No, this one hurts too because this one hits home for me at Academy Park. But I'm going Westchester East. I want to see where Academy Park's at. Like you said, they've been down last year. They struggled a little bit last year, and this is a good game. I mean, this is a good game to see where they stand and what's to come. I'm just not ready yet, so I'm going with East.
Okay, Kev.
I'm going to follow Bill, man. I'm going to go with Westchester East myself. Academy Park, but you said they were the powerhouse. They owned that Del Val for a couple of years, but they've struggled lately, and I want to see where they're at before I start picking them off. So I'm gonna go Westchester East.
Okay.
It's 3 in a row, Westchester East. I saw a few clips of what they did against Haven in the scrimmage. I like what they were doing. I think they got enough to beat Academy Park.
AP, don't let me down. Don't let me down,
They
y'all.
gonna let you down.
All right, next we got the Royals from Upper Darby taking on, and they're going out to Bensalem. Thoughts, Dan?
Got to go up to Darby.
Okay.
Got to go up to Darby in here on this one. I don't know much about Bensalem, so I always tend to go a little bit biased with the Central League. And based off what we talked about last week with Upper Darby being that dark horse, if they're going to do that, they got to win this one.
Right. Kev?
I kind of agree. Upper Darby might be my little surprise pick in the Central, coming up the ladder a little bit. I'm going to go with Upper Darby. I think they got some athletes there. Always excited to see Upper Darby's offense. You never know with the new kids coming in what they can do on the field. So don't know much about Bensalem, but I'm going to go with the Royals.
Okay. Bill?
Bensalem's a big school district, right? And they've got a lot of kids. I think this is going to be another good game on the schedule. But I'm definitely going with the Royals here. Coach Delaney out there. I got a son on our team. I'm gonna stop there with that. But I got the Upper Darby Royals going.
Okay, and listen, I'll be the fourth. I think it's their coming out party. I think they make a statement and put everybody on notice that Upper Darby here to play some football this year. So I like the Royals as well. All right, so next we got Delco Christian. First year varsity football, 11-man varsity football, taking on Pequea. Am I pronouncing that right? Pequea Valley. I know nothing about that team. But again, a team, first year varsity, 11-man football, you would think they're at a disadvantage. But, the coaches, they do a good job over there at Delco Christian with the product they were putting on the field when they were playing 8-man football. I actually got to see them play 11-man football against, it was Ridley's JV, but, Ridley, bigger school, and just execution-wise, they look good. And I'm pretty sure they won their 8-man league last year, their championship. So I'm going to throw it out there and go with the Knights from Delco Christian. Kev?
I'm going to follow you up. I'm going to go with Delco Christian as well. And they had a good season on 8-man football last year. Like you said, they won their championship. I want to see them, bring the 11-man football and continue that. So I'm going to go with Delco Christian myself.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, when it's hard to pronounce a school's name and you don't know much about them, it's hard to vote for them. So, no, I like Delco Christian here. I think it was a great choice to start off their 11-on-11 season with They obviously did their homework and find out, who could they play against and who could they start with. So I think that's a great choice there. Delco Christian.
Y'all crazy. They've never played the game. I can't go with a team that hasn't played the game yet. They got to show me that they can win. I love Delco Christian. One of my brothers works there as the girls basketball coach, Jake Gadino. What's up, Jake? But at the end of the day, you gotta prove something to me. So Pequea Valley.
Okay. Next game, we have a big one here. This was voted by the prediction panel. We have a few members not here, but by the prediction panel as the Delco Football Game of the Week. That game is Garnet Valley going out to Coatesville, PA to take on the Red Raiders. Yep. Well, we're going to start with you, Dan. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. That's a tough start. Like when you're the head coach and you're getting that call from your AD saying you want to start the season with Coatesville, that's a tough start. And Coatesville, same thing. They're getting the call saying you want to start with Garnet. That's a tough nut to crack. I'm going to stay home in the Central League, though. I'm going to stay with Garnet Valley. Coatesville always has a dog, always has some horses, but I know Garnet has the numbers. I know Garnet has the game. I know Garnet has the system. And I trust Garnet to win this for week 1.
Kev?
Hey, man, you talk about a big-time week 1 matchup. I wish everyone would play big-time, school, come out and battle heads like this. But I'm going to go with Garnet Valley. Just the system. Week 1, that system, they haven't changed that system. And I expect them to grind, and then they eventually hit that home run ball. So I'm going to go with Garnet Valley.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, they played each other a couple years ago when they were both in 6A, and they had some great matchups.
Yeah.
And then they went and played each other in the playoffs. 2 powerhouse schools, teams. I know Garnet went down to 5A, but it's going to be a great atmosphere up there in Coatesville. But I'm going with Garnet Valley. Coach Van Wyck always has them prepared and ready for week 1. Like Kev said, they always play big teams, and it's a when you get that first week game and you can prepare your kids, it's hard to root against. So I got the Jags.
Got you. And I mean, myself, and no one mentioned it, but these 2 teams played last year, week 1, and I was fortunate enough to be there. And the Red Raiders got mocked by the Jags, and I got a feeling it's going to be something similar. I mean, Coatesville has some guys, though. I actually. My college roommate's son, one of the linebackers there, and they got some guys, but the system, to togetherness, the way they play, I just like the Jags, man. I like them in this game, and they're always prepared week 1. So I like the Jags as well. All right, next game, Haverford High School. You're traveling to Truman. Another team that I don't know much about. But, I've been out there to check out the Fords, watching their practice. They're getting after it. They lost a lot of guys from last year, but, their dog of all dogs is back. So who do we like, Haverford versus Truman? Bill?
Going back with the reigning MVP. He's gonna do his thing this week. I don't think there's gonna be much of a challenge for him. I'm looking forward to the Central League when they get involved and seeing what he does. But this week he's going to have a field day, so I'm going with Haverford.
Okay, Kev?
Yeah, same. I'm going to go with Haverford. I expect him to come out and show the whole Delco League, the whole Delco, that he's the guy, he's the number 1 guy around. If you're going to be the player of the year, you're going to have to beat his stats. And I expect him week 0, come out, 300-yard game, 3-4 touchdowns, and he's going to make a statement right from the jump.
Ooh-wee. How about that, Dan?
I was going to challenge him to get 200. You're telling me you expect 300. It's crazy. Haverford for the win. I don't see Philly coming down here. I don't really see too many good teams coming out of Philly no matter what. So.
Well, Truman's actually outside of Philly. Truman's in
Bucks County.
Bucks.
Well, it's the same thing. If they don't play what we play down here, that's all I care. That's what I say.
Listen,
I'm going
to shut up because you're right about that.
You can't. can't simulate how we do it.
Delco football, baby.
I talk a lot of trash, so y'all gonna learn that. But Haverford in a blowout.
Okay, all right, and I'm gonna go with the Fords as well. Expecting Liam Taylor to get rolling. I don't know about 3. Listen, if he can get it, but
We'll see.
yeah, we shall see. All right, next game. Delco versus Delco football game. We have the Bucks of Interboro traveling with their head coach to see his former team, Strath Panthers. I'll start off this one. Seen both teams. Both teams made changes at quarterback. Very interesting changes at quarterback. It's going to be an interesting one. Strath Haven skill-wise lost a lot last year, but I like the move with Mulhorn moving the quarterback. Watching him, he has things in control. He's a tough kid, and it kind of reminds me of Milligan back when he played quarterback a few years ago. And he's going to command the team. They had a couple backs that could squabble a little bit, and the system didn't look to change anything. Interboro, they got a couple guys up front. Their star running back is down to QB. I know the secret's out. He's been all over social media wearing his number 1, taking the snaps. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a quick game. It's going to be a lot of running going on in this game. Got to go with the Panthers. We know who you're going with. We're not going to ask
You
him.
don't know who I'm going
We're not going to. Well,
Right. No, you
they
do
got to
not.
do it for Dan.
Right.
They got to do it for Dan, and then you
I
got
ride
you.
with Interboro, but I also got to ride with Haven. But at the end of the day, like you just said, Milligan ran the show a couple years ago, right? And that's a staple Haven football family. Now you got Mulhern running the show as a staple football family. You got the Connors on defense running the show from the coaching standpoint as a Haven staple football family. And like when you have those staples in place, Interboro can't win this game.
Ooh.
They just can't do it.
Can is a strong word.
No, they can't. It's going to be closer than years past, though, because Strath Haven has lost, I think, 17 out of 22 starters.
Right.
So the game's going to be closer. Interboro's gotten better. I'm sure there's going to be some option play. I'm sure there's going to be some veer. I'm sure there's going to be something to get. I'm losing my mind. What's my man's name? The quarterback.
Mamadou Rogers.
You get Mamadou on the outside and take advantage of. He'll probably be the fastest kid on the field. So I'm sure coach is going to figure out a way to get him on the edge and do some things, but they can't. They're not there yet.
Got you.
Now I won't go against Interboro the rest of the season though. I'm not guaranteeing that, but do it for Dan. Y'all still my people. I still love you, but not this week.
Maintenance. Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah, I'm going with Haven as well. That just the system. System has been in place since Dan's played. They've been the top dog for a long time. Well, one of the top dogs in that Central League. Interboro, new coach. I expect them to be better this year. I see them practicing every day on South Ave. Keep up that good work. But I'm going with Haven.
Okay. Bill?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the Bucks do, and this is a good test for them. Go out there and see what you got, and like you said, see what that QB does. But man, week 0 in front of Haven's band.
Exactly.
Like that atmosphere.
Exactly.
You're not really in school yet, but you're here, and it just brings everything back. That's hard to do, especially with the numbers are small at Interboro, right? And that's a smaller team going in. But you got to go see that band and all the people rolling in to go see the first Friday Night Lights. I got Haven.
Okay. So, next game. Owen J. Roberts visiting our friends Conestoga. Kev?
I'm going to go with Conestoga. I've been watching them lately. They play some tough teams in the Central League. They always play them tough. I'm just going to go off past years. Don't know really much about the two teams. But I'm going with Conestoga just off past years.
Okay. And I can kind of agree with you on that one. I'm thinking Stoga. They're usually like a middle of the road team. They'll lose to those Strath Havens, those Ridleys, those Haverfords and Springfields, but the other teams towards the bottom of the Central League they beat. So and if history repeats itself, I think it'll be a fairly close game, but I think Stoga squeaks out the win. How about you, Dan?
Still go all the way. You guys set it off.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, just following the Central League the last couple of years. Stoga is an average team that plays against a lot of good competition. And I don't know much about O&J. Just doing a little bit of homework. I just think Stoga is a bigger and better program right now. So I'm going with Stoga.
Okay. Next game, we have first-year head coach, Coach Ducky Rouse. He's taking his Penwood Patriots to go visit Norristown, the Norristown Eagles. Bill.
Going Penwood. Sticking with the Delco roots here. I wish it was down at. I wish it was at Penwood at the new field, new turf. But they're going to go up there and handle business.
Okay. Kev.
I'm sticking with Delco as well. Go with Penwood. New coach, like you said, and new defensive coordinator, Dana Keith. Let's go.
Dang.
Let's go. Let's make that. Let's have that defense rolling around. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but we'll go with Penwood, new head coach.
Okay, Dan.
Same thing. Kev stole my shout out. Shout out to Dane, and they're going to win in the shutout. They're going to shut them out.
Donut time.
Yeah, they're going to shut them out.
Okay, listen, and I'm rocking. Let's go, Coach. Let's go. Coach Ducky Rouse is my old coach. And let's go, Penwood. Go out there and beat up on them boys. Come on back to Delco. All right. So next game. This game, no, it's not it. I apologize. This game, Delco versus Delco. I think it was second in the voting, but Penncrest visiting Sun Valley. Now this game I don't want to call it a rivalry yet, but I think it's getting there.
It should be. It could be.
And it's listen, social medias be chirping. I actually went to one of these guys, I want to say last year. It was a good game, a lot of energy, kids going after each other, emotion was flying, they kind of got after it. It was an enjoyable game. But Penncrest, I think Penncrest takes this one. That system they run, they got some tough kids. They got, great coaching, not to take anything away from Sun Valley. I think they just may be a little outmanned in this one. We'll see. And actually on last week's show, I said that, failed to mention Sun Valley has their quarterback back and the kid's solid too.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw them and I actually went by Sun Valley and they got some skill guys there that can play a little bit. But I think Penncrest takes the air out the ball. I think they pound that rock and they get that dub. What you think, Dan?
Everything you said, just echoing off of you. And it's one of those things that's tough for me because it's like you have two teams that I feel are very equal. They're very equal in play. And the deciding factor is that Penncrest is in the Central League and they're used to fighting every week. They're just used to a different style, a different class of football, in my opinion, versus the Chestnut.
Okay.
So I'm going with Penncrest, even though I will be at this game, by the way. I'm going with Penncrest, though.
Okay. How about you, Kev?
This is a tough one for me. I coached for Sun Valley a couple of years ago, so I know a lot about this game.
Did you coach against me?
I did coach against you.
Oh, okay. Were you the OC?
No, I was not.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I'm going to go with Sun Valley and Coach Ellis. I expect he's been there. This is his fourth year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Sun Valley. Got some guys back. You said the quarterback's back.
Yeah. Schaefer, R.J. Schaefer, yep.
Yeah. Penncrest is tough, though, man. They're going to run the ball up the gut. They're going to do what they do. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a physical game. I'm going to go with Coach Ellis and have the boys ready. I'm going to go with Sun Valley.
Hey, there you go, Vanguards. How
I
about you, Bill?
disagree with both Kev and Dave. I think Penncrest is on the rise. I think they got great coaching, and I'm just saying I don't think they're on the same level. I think Penncrest
I see what you're saying. I got you.
is gonna win this one, and I think Penncrest is gonna make a little noise this year. And I think they're on the rise in the Central League. Coach Allison's got that defense rolling over there, and it's a short ride, right? It's right next door. It's not a far away game. It's
down the street.
So it's going to be packed here. And when I say here, because we're right next door to it, but it's going to be packed and it's going to be a good atmosphere. Good week 0, first Friday night light game. So.
And it's cheer with us night for Sun Valley, so all the younger cheerleaders are cheerleading with the older cheerleaders. I know that. So
Why do you know that?
it will be packed because my daughter, all three of my daughters will be cheering on Friday night for a team I just picked against. So
Right. Hey,
it's gonna be a great time.
watch yourself. All right, next game. Perk Valley. Perk Valley, past few years they opened up with Chester, but change made, and now they're opening up with Springfield. Don't get much easier for them.
No.
They love coming down Delco and taking L's. Let's go Springfield. But listen, I like Springfield. Went by there, saw them in action a little bit. I like what I saw. And they running around, that Tanner, and I believe I've been saying his name wrong the whole time because I interviewed him, and it's not Cole, it's
Carl.
there you go. Kid looks good, seeing him at outside backer, seeing the other inside backer, Evan, we'll throw it over to, but you just addressed it already. But I like what I saw at Springfield. I like what I saw, the energy there, guys are running around, ready to play. And recently they're a lot more physical. So I think that will, match Perk Valley. From what I hear, Perk Valley's dipping a little bit. We'll see. But I like Springfield. Bill?
Yeah, no, Perk Valley is a big program, big school. And they're going to come down here, trying to set the tone and jump in the Delco. But I feel like the Cougars are going to be ready. Talking to the hometown that I'm at, and Springfield, they're a little curious of what's going to happen this year with them, and losing some guys and stuff like that. But I went to the scrimmage last week, and I think they got so many weapons, and if they use them right and they get off and running, and my boy Evan is out there doing his thing, they're gonna have another good year. So I got Springfield winning this one. Tight game. It's gonna be a good game. Good game, but I got Springfield winning.
Kev?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Two, good programs going head to head week 0. That's what I like to see. Just to see where you're at right from the start. I'm gonna go with Springfield. Tight game. A little struggle on both offenses. I think both defenses are gonna come to play, but Springfield in a close one.
Okay. Dan?
Springfield. That's Perk Valley. They're dead to me. They dropped Chester to go play Springfield, which doesn't make sense to me on any level.
Right.
We'll talk about that later.
It is what it is. Let's go Cougars. Next game. This game was voted our Delco Football Game of the Week by our Instagram voting. And so as far as the people's pick, they picked Radnor High School visiting Chichester. In this game, recent years, it wasn't short of action. I'll put it like that. So we'll see what goes on. Chi up front, they putting their hands on people. And that Danzler, that running back, he can run that rock. They have the quarterback back. They got a freaking 6'6" tight end. I think Chi makes some noise this year. Radnor, they got a couple guys too. Number 2, what's the kid's name? It comes to mind. And then Riley, a quarterback, returning quarterback. So, Radnor looking to do some things too. But my gut, I'm gonna go with Chi. I think they can get things done. But I think it's gonna be a good game. But I think Chi controls the line of scrimmage. How about you, Kev?
I'm gonna go with Chi. I'm gonna go with Coach Craig. Get the boys rolling this year. Like you said, I think they're gonna be much improved. This is third year. So we got a system in place. Chichester Eagles. Let's go, Coach.
Bill?
Sticking with Coach Craig. Go Chi. Let's go.
How about you, Dan?
Same thing, sticking with Chi. We talked last week about Chi battling for that second place in the Del Val and winning that title. And I feel like second place in the Del Val should finish top 8 in the Central League.
Right.
Radnor can't finish top 8 in the Central League.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Sounds good. All right, so moving on. Next game, we have Ridley going to visit CB East. What are your thoughts, Dan?
I'm going with my man E. Hollingsworth and Ridley.
Okay.
He said they're ready to go. They've been working out. They've been putting the work in the all season. It's just time to show it.
Okay, Kev?
I'm going Ridley. Last couple of years, they've been fiddling with, I feel like, 3, 4, 5th place. I just feel like they just had some bad losses in there, and I feel like they're gonna come right from the start this year, get it rolling. That could be a surprise team in the Central League this year. We're going with Ridley.
Bill?
Yeah, 100%. Ridley's going to be surprising people in the Central League. Get back in that mix. They're going to head up to Central Bucks and take care of business first week.
Okay, and myself, I'm a Delco bias. Let's go, Green Raiders. All right. So next game, Upper Merion versus Lower Merion.
Battle of the Marions.
So the Upper Merion versus Lower Merion. Thoughts, Bill?
Lower Merion. Just this. I think they're doing something well over there. You did a good job going up there and checking them out and putting them out there in the mix. I just think that they're ready, and this is a good first week matchup for them. Upper Merion has their struggles, and I think Lower Merion.
Yeah.
I'm going to join that bandwagon. I'm going to go with Lower Merion. Last year they were real tough. They were tough out for teams. So I'm not sure on how many starters are coming back. But I just expect they're home, week 0, I'm going Lower Merion.
Okay. I'm going to go with Lower Merion as well. I'll tell you one thing. I learned something very interesting, that the football team traditionally are the Bulldogs, when all the other sports are traditionally the Aces. And I never knew that. But, I had to ask, I was interviewing Coach, and I said, what can we expect from the Aces? And then he was like, yeah, the Bulldogs, the Aces. I'm like, hold on. And I'm looking like, it is a Bulldog on their helmet. Yeah. And kind of talked to them and got the history of it. So, apologies, but the Bulldogs. I'm going with the Bulldogs of Lower Merion. They got a couple big linemen, man. They got a Temple commit. The other kid, was it Welks? I believe his name is, quarterback returning Nick DeLuca, the kid's the school record holder for passing yards. He gonna air that thing out. Couple new backs, kind of like what I saw there. So rocking with the Bulldogs. Coach,
I'm going Upper Merion. I just feel like losing that receiver, it's gonna be harder to duplicate those yards that he threw last year. So got to go Upper Merion on that one.
Okay, all right. So moving on. Next game we have the Clippers. The Clippers are going to Philadelphia to go see Lincoln High School. Very interesting game, I think. I don't want people to underestimate Lincoln, to be honest with you. They've had a lot of tough games last year and then only lost to Tep by, 2-3 points. So I think we have a good game on our hands. What are your thoughts on Chester playing at Lincoln High School, Kev?
Chester. I don't think there's much to say about this. I know you just gave Lincoln a shout out, but I think Chester is just that good, and I don't see much competition in this game. Chester all the way.
Okay, Dan?
So we're talking about Chester as a District 1 champion. You can't be a District 1 champion if you're not a next man up team. So I know Chester has lost a lot. I know they had an injury last week of some sort, but again, they're ready to play next man up football. Lincoln is not going to compete with them.
Bill?
Yeah, now Lincoln, they Chester was looking for that game, right? They get a game in, and Lincoln just happened to be that team that's going to take the fall for that. Chester's going to go up there and roll.
Okay, and listen, I tried to sway y'all, but Lincoln, winking, taking Clippers in 5. All right, so Hatboro-Horsham going to play Marple. Bill?
Another fun spot to play at over at Marple. Under the lights, you got Wolski back. He's going to have a good game this week. Marple with an easy win.
Okay, Kev?
Yep, Wolski. Get used to that name. Marple's going to make a run. It's going to be because of him. I got Marple.
Dan?
I got Marple as well. That's it.
I'm a forfeit. We're going to go with Marple in that one, the Tigers. I think they'll get it done. All right. Last game, Penn State champs. Matter of fact, let's get the shout out the way. Go ahead, Kev. Show them some love, man. Kev missed the show last week. Do your thing, Kev.
All right, so we got the defending state champs, Bonner. I feel bad for Gratz. You're gonna feel the wrath of the champs. They're ready to repeat. I'm not saying they're going to repeat, but they're working like they're going to repeat.
Why did you say it? Just say it. You might as well just say it with your chest.
So I'm going to go Bonner. I expect big year from the team. Frink, get used to that name, running back. He's going to follow right in the footsteps of Mick. They're going to miss Mick. Don't get me wrong. He was a great running back for them. He's going to be at Westchester now. But Frink's going to be the guy running the backfield. Expect big things from him.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved this game to 12 o'clock on Saturday for a reason. Bonner's going to do their thing. This is a week 0 easy matchup. Bonner takes care of it.
Okay.
I'm going with Gratz. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Bonner's going to roll. They set it off.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. Visited the squad last week, and just seeing jokers coming in interviewing, size of guys, it's they're a championship caliber team, and I think that'll show. All right. So those are our predictions for the week. And look out for the panel post where it's going to have all of our panel on there with our predictions for the week. Well, their predictions for the week. That's probably the last predictions you're going to get out of me this year.
No, you should do it here.
I'm gonna let them guys.
Let it go.
Yeah. But our next topic, well, every week we're gonna do a topic, and I'll put it on Instagram for you guys to vote for it. And I'm checking in on it. We have a very close race, but the topic for this show is going to be one Delco Football League, combining the whole Delco. Who wants to kick it off? Or I can kick it off, because this is something that I proposed maybe 10 to 12 years ago when I was still coaching, because it just didn't make sense, to have a league as big as the Central League and then a league as small as the Del Valle League, and especially after we lost Glen Mills. Del Valle guy. And just the fact that some valleys, out there in the Chestmont, I think it just makes sense to bring Delaware County together and just make one league. And my proposal was Delco North, Delco South, and just doing it geographically. Crossover games, and then you hear the excuse, oh well, certain teams don't have all the sports, but if you combine every team in our county and put them in one league, and I'm not including Philadelphia Catholic League because they can stay in the Philadelphia Catholic League, with the private stuff, no disrespect, he ain't like that. But I think it's plenty of teams to be able to schedule different sports. Okay, 2-3 teams don't have select sports. I think it's excuse. I think it makes sense. And with how many 5A teams we have, 6A teams, then we have 4. I think gelling that whole thing together would be a great move. And then even if you want to, Delco North and South, at some point it's going to be a crossover. Who's the champion of the whole thing? Champion of, however we want to do it. I just think it's a great idea. Cool. Okay. Your thoughts?
I'm all about that. Better competition for certain teams. I would love to see Chester and play some of these Central League teams, especially make that Del Valle League even bigger, or however you want to do it, divide it up. That sounds great to me. I don't know what teams would be on which side. You would really have to look in numbers and 6A, 5A, and how you want to work it.
Right.
I would have no objection to that. I don't have any ties to the Central League or Del Valle. I'm sure that people would want to keep their rivalries going with some teams,
right.
So you would try to keep that intact. But that would keep Delco football striving if you want to keep just 2 big leagues like that and have a champion versus a champion. And that's some good stuff right there.
Right, Bill?
Yeah, no, I know a couple of years ago they mentioned about doing away with leagues and just putting you in your classifications.
Right.
And that's the only way I could see this working is if you put them in classes, and divide them up, 6A and 5A and add the 4A. I would have to say it would have to be separated in classes, and you would have to see the top tier, because you don't want to. There's some schools that you just don't want to see.
Right. Now, I think class-wise, we maybe have, 4 or 5 6A schools in Delco. I think majority are 5A. And then we have 4A, Sun Valley.
It was only Sun Valley and
Harriton.
I had it all looked up. I actually split it up already.
Right. So,
But just think about all those teams that are flirting on that line of that 5A, 6A. That
Right.
are probably in the next go around. They're probably going to go back up to 6A, or so.
Yeah, that's why I don't
I
like
think
the
you
class
have to
split.
kind of have a big school and smaller school, kind of like what the Catholic League does. They have a red and a blue, and like the bigger schools go with the bigger schools, and so that's the only way I can see that really making a turn.
All right, how about
So
you?
so I went ahead and looked at it years ago, like LT for basketball, because I was coaching high school basketball at the time, and just looking at it for football, just keeping it as a football conversation, I went and divided that north and south, like we talked about. I did one with boundary, one without, and with the boundary, you have 9 and 9, which still gives you 8 games. Excuse me. So now you still have time to have a crossover, or you still have time to keep your week 1 game, or you still have time to throw a rivalry in if you need it. So, for example, the North would have Radnor, Haverford, Marple, Upper Darby, Penncrest, Springfield, Stoga, Harriton, Penwood. Um, and the way I was doing it, I drew a line basically that came through media. So anything above media, splitting Penncrest to North, Haven to the south, that's your team. I mean, that's your league, or your division. I'm sorry. It was equal 6A, 6A. It was equal 5A, 5A, and it was equal 4A, 4A in terms of the number of in each side. And looking at the Southwood, like if I'm Chester and I got to play Chi, Sun Valley, Ridley, AP, Interboro, Haven, Garnet, Lower Merion, that's a tough slate. There's some gimmies, but that's a tough slate. And I think that brings everything together because, like you talked about earlier with the Penncrest and Sun Valley game, it's down the street. Looking at that slate, looking at this one, you don't even have to get on the highway anymore. Right, all these you can drive all back roads to games, bring fans back to the game. Like I think that's what's more important. We're having all these games streamed and nobody's attending. Like we really need to bring the neighborhoods back out to these games.
Great point. Great point.
And I think honestly, like some teams don't want Central League doesn't want the Del Valle in. I think it's time that we nix that.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it's a thing.
What do you mean?
I said I don't think it's a thing. I think it's a. I don't want to call it a known fact, but some things are obvious, some things aren't. So, but any other thoughts on that before we good to go? All right. Well, lastly, we definitely I first off want to throw out there, check out the YouTube channel, Images by LT. We have player interviews, coaches interviews. From 13 different teams, over 70 interviews. Go check that out. A lot of work put into that. Hope everybody enjoys that. You have pictures, of all those visits going around, and the links are posted everywhere, so you can find it. And lastly, I'll just let everybody know, or you guys can let what games they're going to be at. Are you going to be at the game this weekend, Coach?
Penncrest Sun Valley.
Okay, Kevin.
I'll be at the Bonner Gratz game.
Yeah, big surprise. Bill.
I will be at the Springfield Upper Perkiomen game,
Okay.
and I will also be at the Bonner Gratz game on Saturday.
Okay, myself, I'll be at the Upper Merion and Lower Merion game. So, Twitter, make sure you follow Delco Football. These guys, I'll be putting out, graphic with everybody's Twitter's names, X names, and what games they're going to be going to. We actually have about 5-6 other guys going to be going to games. You can follow them for scores, updates. I'll put that list out. Also, you can follow Delco Football on Twitter just to make sure you get the updates. Well, on X to make sure you get the updates on the scores and everything. We'll have a scoreboard after the week is. Stay connected. We're going to have a good time this weekend. We appreciate everybody tuning in to the Turnover, our second show on week 0. Coming from the guys and myself, we appreciate everybody, all the following and all the support. So just thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you Friday night and Saturday morning for a lot of you teams. Delco Football out.